All right, the Bucks have punched their ticket to go to the NBA Finals. They're going to end up playing the Phoenix Suns. Hey everyone, this is Ron Fitch, and this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. The Bucks did what they had to do. This was a very good veteran road win in Game 6. I was wrong. I thought this would go 7. The Hawks would win, and then the Bucks would beat them in 7. The Bucks took care of business in 6. That was my heart talking because I wanted to see a classic Game 7. It's not going to happen. The Bucks led pretty much from start to finish, and they did what they had to do. And I'm going to tell you the key. I understand Middleton had 32 points and 7 assists and 4 rebounds, but the guy who was the hero and the guy who was the real star of this entire series was Drew Holiday, because of the fact that he did a little everything. He was possessed too. He had 27 points plus 13, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, and 4 steals. And he was all over the place. He guarded everybody. Guarded the post. He guarded the point guard. He guarded Trey. He guarded Bogdanovich. He guarded everybody. And Portis has been solid with 12 points. He had a solid series. Another guy who's a really big hero of this series was Brook Lopez. He really, 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 really played good inside. He blocked shots. He's more agile than he looks. And you know he's going to nail those three-point shots. He only took one and made one, but it gave you the inside presence because the Bucks were bigger and they played big. They played smarter. They did what they had to do. Connaughton gave you 13 points. T came off the bench and gave you 11. That's when the lead went up to 20 and Atlanta tried to make a comeback, but it wasn't meant to be. Trae Young was hobbled, 4-17, and Collins had 13. Reddish had 21 points, but it wasn't meant to be. The Hawks had a great season. They got all the way to the conference finals, got to a Game 6 when they weren't even supposed to get out of the first round. So they have something to build on. Also, okay, we add to the bench. Hunter will be back. Maybe Reddish will be better. Let's go get it big. If he could keep himself under control, you could bring Dwight Howard to Atlanta. But somebody like that, a veteran, somebody like a Brook Lopez type of guy would help the Atlanta Hawks. But I want to give a shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks GM, John Hurst. John Hurst brought in Holiday. He drafted Middleton out of Texas A&M. He got Brook Lopez. He was able to sign him to team him up with Giannis. He got P.J. Tucker for toughness. And I think P.J. Tucker will be a little more better suited for the next series, guarding Chris Paul, being physical with him. Getting Connaughton out of Notre Dame. Go grab it up, Jeff Teague, and getting Forbes, their three-point sniper out of Michigan State. Having the eye for getting those type of guys that gives Giannis relief. And they had Giannis back. Giannis was out these 2 games. They won the 2 games. Now they're going to NBA Finals. And you know what's funny? Drew Holiday smelled it. Sometimes, when you play and you haven't been to the finals and you're 1 game away, man, you're going to another, like Chris Paul did, you're going to another higher level. And that's what the Bucks did. They're going to end up playing the Suns. That's going to be a pretty good series. I told y'all about Chris Paul. I told you about Chris Paul. I said this man is desperate. I was saying that the whole time during the Western Conference Finals. If it got to the 3rd game, he's going to be so desperate. He's going to go for it to try to get that last win. Now, it didn't happen in Game 5. But, boy, in Game 6, it sure happened. 130, 1-3 beatdown. And everybody, I've heard all the pundits and what they talked about, and I'm going to break everything down. I mean, his 41 points and 4 rebounds and 8 assists. He was plus 22. And Booker was plus 23. Well, he had 22 points. He was solid. I'm going to tell you why Phoenix won the series. Of course, Kawhi's injury hurt. But they were very, very good at chasing the Clippers off the three-point line and making them two-point shooters, making Paul George a driver. And he had a bad game, and he was casually bad. 6 of 15 and minus 25. But they weren't going to be on fire like they were game 5. They were on fire, and Phoenix missed assignments. That was the first time all series they really got lit up from the 3, and they decided we're not going to get beat by 3. That is not happening. The Clippers are not going to whoop us from 3. And George had too many turnovers. You know, they didn't have a huge 3-point game. They hit threes, but the others didn't show up for the Clippers. But Chris Paul was outstanding. And he is a reluctant scorer, but he just figured, okay, in the second half, I'm just going to go off. I don't like doing that. I like to let everybody get the ball and be that great point guard that I am. I'm going off. And the great ones sense when they have to do that, and they sense when it's the other guy's turn. It was Chris Paul's turn, 41 points. And finally, Jay Crowder played well because he was bad. And I got on him. He was, as far as offensively, he was bad. And he finally found a stroke. 5 3-pointers. They needed him too. And it was a team effort. Ayton had 16 and plus 19 and 17 rebounds. You know what's important about Ayton? When other teams go small and you have a good big, a lot of times you got to take that good big out, and that hurts you. Because his lateral quickness and how smart he is and how good he is at covering the guard on those switches that everybody does, he can stay in the game. And now he's going against a smaller guy. So when the Clippers go back to that zone they went to that was effective, they can go inside now. And they scored inside, and they gave him the balance. And then Chris Paul just blew that zone to smithereens. Then they tried to put everybody in Beverley, and I'm going to get to Beverley in a minute. I'm going to lay into him in a minute. But it was a great team effort. I'm so happy for Chris Paul. He was so excited after winning. He had big shot after big shot. I mean, the one time he did a crossover through the left hook in the lane. He was feeling it. I love how he played. And they got, Bridges played well. He had 9 points. Bridges is the type of guy that plays good defense. He'll give you some scoring. He's not consistent from 3, but he's aggressive. He go to the basket. He's good on the break. The thing I like about Phoenix is they play fast. They're quick. And Cameron Payne, my guy, really gives you that change of pace, quick guard type of play where Phoenix can run that fast break. And they got that alley-oop. They call it the valley-oop down pat, man. And the fans are excited. This is an exciting team. I'm happy that the Suns got in. I'm happy Patrick Beverley lost. I don't say I dislike different athletes. I want to be as professional as possible when it comes to doing a broadcast. I really dislike Patrick Beverley. I always have. It's okay to play hard, and I understand. And they use the excuse, well, he plays hard, he plays past the whistle. Yeah, that's the only way he can play. No. That's idiot ball. And I told you, idiot ball gets you beat. At certain times, idiot ball is going to cost you. He got Westbrook hurt. He undercuts people, and then he undercut Chris Paul the other day and was running his mouth. He's running his mouth about some dynasty the Clippers are supposed to have. That ain't your job. If Paul George and Kawhi Leonard say that, I get it. You're just the role player that supposedly plays good defense. I'm gonna tell you something. He's got good hands, and he'll play pretty good position defense, but he gets burned because he overplays and his ego, And Monty Williams had the perfect game plan. He screened him because he doesn't really fight over the screens. I noticed that. And that allowed Booker to get going because he bothered Booker by getting underneath him and guarding him pretty well, stealing the ball from him because he does have good hands, and running his mouth. And the Suns wouldn't get to the finals, so Patrick Beverley wasn't going to bother him, and Chris Paul was tearing him, everybody that was guarding him to shreds, and he had something to say because Booker mocked him and won and pranced and danced, and he gave and he couldn't take it, and he's a front-running idiot. That's what he is. And I saw the fake apology. That's just, no, stop. He's just an idiot through and through. He couldn't play for my team. I don't want him anywhere near my team. And then he pushes Chris Paul when Chris Paul's not looking. It's a punk move. And he's a punk, too. Not only is he an idiot, he's a punk. And he pushed him down. And what if he ran to a player, he hurt his neck, or he's out for, like what he did with Westbrook, where he's out for the season. And there's, issues always with the knee like Westbrook had. People will factor in, he plays hard, I like him. I don't like him because you could play hard and play tough. You could talk if you want. But when you injure people, you're a punk because that's not basketball. That's idiot ball. And you'll never win a championship with idiot ball. And the Clippers, he's a free agent. I will let him go quickly. And I think another reason he apologized, he realized how much backlash he got. And now he's a free agent. Now he's thinking about his money. But he's a big mouth. He made fun of Lillard. He's always going after people he shouldn't. These people. And the sad part is the guy could shoot and he could drive and pass. He's not a bad player, but his idiocy trumps his talent. And I don't want to, and a lot of the pundits say, well, I like him because he's scrappy. That's not scrappy, that's idiot ball. And when I do a show called Tell the Truth Sports Radio, this is the truth. And sometimes pundits excuse bad behavior, calling it hard work. That's idiot ball. I'm telling you can't win. The Lakers were fortunate to win because Dwight Howard did block shots, but he had a little idiot ball in him too. And you saw in the Sixers Game 7 with the flagrant fouls. Idiots make mistakes at the wrong time because that's their number one goal, is to conduct themselves like an idiot. It's not winning first. If they play hard, they play hard. But their number one goal is not winning a championship, is to be an idiot and show how fake tough they are. That's very important. And the Suns were out there trying to win a game. Patrick Beverley had his own agenda out there. And I don't know why Rondo didn't play, because you could have used a playoff Rondo instead of that idiot. But Rondo is aging, so that might have hurt. But anyway, the Suns are advancing. I'm happy for Chris Paul. His legacy is intact. If he does win, which I hope he does, that'll really, really be that's great for him. He can have that on his mantle. Oh, he blew all the blown leads and all that other stuff, 3-2, and injuries at the wrong time. All that's gone, and I'm happy for him. And it looks like America's really rooting for him. Even when you might have had problems with him in the past, you see his passion and how much he wants this, how long he's been in the league. He plays hard and good. I'm just happy for him. Now, there's a story I don't want to really talk about is the Shi CARRIE Richardson situation where she was tested positive for marijuana. And this is so disappointing because she's special. And when it comes to the Olympics, you want to see the Carl Lewis's and Michael Phelps's and all the Usain Bolts and all the all-time greats. She's on that path. And it's unfortunate. And I looked and I said, okay, why would she take a chance and get popped for marijuana? Then I listened to her story because I like to wait a couple days and get every fact I can. That's why my show is called Tell the Truth Sports Radio. And it's an unfortunate situation that her mom passed, and that was just her way to cope. I can't be judgmental because I remember I was 21. Of course, you'll say, well, she shouldn't have did it because she took a chance on throwing away her gold medal. The one good thing I did find out is it's a month suspension, and she can be eligible for the 400 relay, and that's going to be good. So I get to see the glimpse of greatness in her, and I celebrate greatness, and everybody from both sides of the political arena have really took to her side. Say, okay, one side said, okay, she should. They all said it's the rule's stupid, but it is the rule, and she did get popped. But I think that she'll still be eligible the way things are set up for the 4-100 for relay. And I hope I said that right. But I'm happy that's going to happen, because I just want to see greatness. I want every time the 4-100-meter relay race, and I want to see her in that, and she's going to be able to run in that, and that's what brings me happiness to see that, because she's a young lady, put all her work in, and she did everything she could, and I'm happy for her. But I also want to give a shout out to a lady I did interview, Sydney McLaughlin. She ran the 400-meter hurdlers under 52 seconds. She can get gold. I'm going to actually put the interview up on one of my next shows coming up. Wonderful lady, beautiful family. So I'm happy for her, but I'm hoping that Richardson gets a chance to run in the relay race, which would really make me happy. Okay, I have to end this show on a weird, dark, kind of kooky note. I always love to talk about sports. This is something I don't want to talk about, but this is news. One of my favorite pitchers is Trevor Bauer, because he's funny. He's kind of silly guy. Some people don't like him, which is understandable. He's a great pitcher. He's on the Dodgers. But I got to talk about this. He went on 2 dates with a woman he met online, and they had wild consensual sex. Allegedly, he choked her till she was unconscious. Did all types of stuff. I don't even want to talk about on a sports show. That was the first encounter, and she said how much it was awesome with the text message. Second one, I think she said she was going to give him buzzwords when to stop. She said he didn't. He punched her. He did things to her while she was unconscious. She choked her out, and then he had her way with her after she choked her out. I'm not going to get into the details. That's what's alleged. I hope that's not true. With a guy I really liked, I like listening to him. He's a great quote, but I hope that's not true. I want to wait until we get all the facts. I saw the text messages with him saying, I hope I didn't go too far. And then she said, I liked it. You didn't go too far. Leave me alone. It's just a lot of it's just weird because it's hard to decipher. Usually it's cut and dry. Okay, he did it. Okay, she's lying. This is weird. This is murky. You can't pass judgment. You got to wait. If I was Trevor Bauer, I'd never gotten, and regardless, there's always a risk when you go this far. I don't care how much you're into this. There's always, when you're a public figure, you're pitching for the Dodgers, you try and play for a second championship. This is a problem. It's a problem from a criminal standpoint. It's a problem from a Major League Baseball standpoint. Now you're going to be suspended. Even if you're found not guilty, you could get suspended for conduct for a while. If you are, you're going to jail. Your season and your career could be over. And then from a fan standpoint, what do you do if you come back after about a couple of weeks? All right, I'm clear. It was rough sex, and I was clear to that. And now I'm coming back. Here I am, back to the Dodgers. What do the Dodger fans do? Maybe they cheer him, because he's likable. He goes back to does what he does. When he goes on the road, they're going to let him have it. And they probably would even when he was giving him home runs and Tatis mocked him, he said that was all in fun. So he might get into that. He might be into that where they boo him and taunt him and come up with different taunts and pictures and gestures and memes. Woo! But he probably won't care. He better not, because he's going to get it, regardless of whether he's guilty or innocent. When he comes back and he goes to San Diego or San Francisco and he does his little dance where he strikes out, they're going to taunt him. Woo! Something terrible. If allegedly it was just that. If it's more, then he's probably going to do some time. But if it's not, then all the things I just said, take a look if he comes back, how he gets treated by the fans. Just something you want to take a peek at. And when they say all this crazy stuff and they taunt the heck out of him, just remember this show. I talked about it on this show. All right, I got a comment on the Scottie Pippen situation about the book he wrote. I listen to all the pundits, and I always like to sit and wait because this is Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm going to tell you the truth about what I believe because I can't get in the guy's head. He's talking from a source of pain, and people don't realize that. With the situation with Michael Jordan, situation with Phil Jackson, maybe the situation not getting enough respect. There's a lot going on. And you compound that. So I'm going to go step for step. The situation with Phil Jackson, he said he was racist. No one's believing that. He was with Phil Jackson. I can't say, for sure, I wasn't there like he said. But here would be my response to Scottie. Other than Horry making a couple of comments that there was a couple times I had to get on him about being old and cranky. That's what it sounds like. I listened to some of the comments. Everyone else said no. And with the Kobe situation, they reunited after he did the book, and they had a great relationship. And then you look at the fact that Scottie Pippen in 2019 recommended Phil Jackson get the Laker job. That doesn't sound like somebody you didn't like. And then another thing, how come Walt Frazier, nobody talks about it. How come Walt Frazier didn't say he was racist when he was roomed with him? And Walt Frazier and Willis Reed, who played with him, and they always had political discussions all the time. So they would know the Busher and Cassie Russell and Dr. Dick Barnett. They would know, and they didn't know. But this is a source of pain. And I think the pain of not getting enough respect from the media in his mind for being as great and versatile and doing the things he did in his run with 6 titles for the Bulls. Now with Michael Jordan, I think the Last Dance, they talked about him being selfish with the contract. I understand that. I think the biggest wound that really hurt Scottie was the fact that the migraine headache game in Game 7 of the year before they won the championship, the year they lost to the Pistons where Pippen couldn't play. And they talked to Jordan. They said, Scottie Pippen with a headache. And Jordan said, yeah, brother. And it was so dismissive. And I wish Jordan wouldn't have did that. I think there's a wound there. So Scottie Pippen, there's pain there. So all this is coming out. And everything's public. Then he has this embarrassing public divorce. So you factor that in, you factor the Last Dance, you factor the divorce, you factor all these things going in, and you get this version of Scottie Pippen who was just upset, and he let it all out in a book. The only problem is he had no business being that nasty to Dan Patrick. Even if he thinks Dan Patrick's some type of Jordan lackey, don't go on. I don't care if you're promoting the book. Don't go on if you're going to do that. He treated Dan Patrick like he would treat me. My YouTube podcast, Tell the Truth Sports Radio. He comes on. He doesn't see I'm this super established star ESPN Fox Sports guy. So he says, do you speak English? That would be okay. Well, that's the way he's talking to that guy. But to talk like that to Dan Patrick, it was just nasty. It was uncalled for. And you know what? What I think of Scottie Pippen is tacky. That's what you're doing. You're being tacky. And that's been the problem. But with Michael Jordan, he probably didn't feel. I know Michael. It seems like Michael Jordan has a lot of respect for what Scottie did for him, and Scottie inferred, well, he didn't win nothing without me. But listen, Kareem and Magic need each other to make that run. The big three in Miami need each other. LeBron needed Kyrie. LeBron needed AD. Everybody needs somebody. Bird needed the other two guys, McHale and Parrish and DJ and Ainge to make their run, and all them great teams. Dr. J needed Moses. Everybody needs somebody. So that you have to miss me with that nonsense. But as far as I listen to people, well, he wasn't that great anyway. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. He's definitely top 50. He one of my favorite players. Still love watching his highlights. I watch how he plays defense. I just enjoy the heck out of that guy playing. But he's in it looks unhappy, painful. I feel sorry for him type of deal. I look at him. I look at his hair. I just look at him. The persona, it is reeking of just, I'm in pain. You know, a public divorce where your wife cheats on you, and then he probably feels like Jordan cheated on him by doing that in The Last Dance. And then just now that brings up the situation with Phil. He probably forgot. He probably wanted to forget about that. So now that and Phil's included in his unhappiness, and you get all this into one bag of this speed ball of unhappiness. And that's where Pippen is, unfortunately. But, man, just burning bridges for the heck of it, it's just a problem. Maybe time will just cool him off, but he's got this book he's selling, and I just wonder if it's worth it, just tearing down relationship. Jordan, he never comments on nothing. Jordan is shrewd. It don't matter how many shots they get taken. I mean, he just won't comment. You won't hear him make any public comments. Just keeps it moving. That's the smartest thing you could do.